Briterion Selection is back, bitches. I'm Kevin, here with Kris. That was highly disturbing. Never do that again, please.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're back. Going to do a little short session, talking a little sports right now. So NBA is popping off right now, right? Just a few games left in the season until the play-in starts and then the series start. What's the big news right now? Luka just came back to Dallas last night. He was emotional. You're right.
Yeah.
Have a swig of water, or whatever you're drinking. Grandpa's old cough medicine. That's moonshine. Moonshine in the bathtub. Yeah. So Luka killed it in his return. That'll still go down as a stupid ass trade. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. And like I said, when the Lakers first got him, I think this is a real boon for the Lakers, and they'll do some damage in the playoffs. I don't know if they'll make it to the finals or win the finals, but I think they'll do some damage on the way there. Yeah, it was a stupid ass trade, and I said it at the time that I think Redick and LeBron were orchestrating this that whole time, because I mentioned on their podcast that they did together before the season started, they were really gushing about Luka. I mean, gushing. Spraying all over the place about Luka. Seriously. And I could tell their mouths were really watering talking about him, and it was like, I have a feeling they really want to get his ass. So I'm kind of not that surprised they end up pulling it off.
They got his ass.
Yeah.
Did you see the tribute to
the
Luka tribute where he's crying?
Yeah.
That was sad.
Yeah.
Very touching.
It was, yeah.
I think he had a lot of mixed
feelings.
Angst.
Yeah.
Stored up. I mean, that's the team that built him up and made him a superstar. They're the one that took a chance on him.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of great memories there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's a police call. We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Someone else will get it. Yeah, I mean, he was very emotional, and then he's like, all right, wipe away the tears, I'm going to kill these guys now.
And they kicked their ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Poor Mavericks.
Yeah.
Poor Mavericks.
I feel bad for Clay, because he really fucked up, leaving the Warriors. He could have been the sixth man on the Warriors, making slightly less. But still a lot, considering he probably wasn't going to provide that much. He'll hit a few threes, and that's all he needed to do.
Yeah.
The Warriors would have retained him just for his legacy, just for being a splash brother. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's not splashing that much, they still would have retained him. They would have kept him on the payroll just to have him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he didn't want to do that. He had too much pride.
This team better? I mean, the Warriors are one of the best teams in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Do you think this team's better than the one that won the championship? I mean, they had Durant and all those guys, but
no, definitely not better than that team. The death lineup, the Durant death lineup. No, not better than that team.
Who didn't make it to the playoffs? Very sad about that.
Yeah, well,
poor guy.
He's on some other shit, Durant. What can I say? No, but they're comparable to the team that won it, that beat the Celtics that year. I just worry about maybe mostly defense, and I feel like they have a lot of guys who aren't leaders. They have good players, but Butler's a leader. I mean, but Butler can only do so much. Curry, Butler, and Draymond can only do so much. Like Pajemski needs to step it up, which he's been doing.
Yeah.
I think they're planning on passing the baton to him. Really, you know what I'm saying? It's like, here, give it to the white dude and see what he can do when we retire. I think that's what they're planning on doing. So we'll see when they get to the playoffs. Hopefully they don't have to do a play-in, because I feel like when it's a play-in and it's one game, I mean, it's do or die. So you can't rely on that. I feel like the Warriors will be better in a long series. Let's say they lose a game one, I could see them winning the rest of the games after that, or winning in six, each of the series is, and see what happens. I mean, it'll be cool. Lakers, Warriors, and the Lakers have been eliminating the Warriors in the play-ins the past few years. So
Hmm.
I think the Warriors want some revenge for that shit. I'm sure Butler is like, fuck you guys. And then I'm sure Butler's pissed off about losing to the Lakers when he was on the Heat in the bubble championship. I'm sure he's pissed off about that. So I can see he really wants revenge for that. He's tired of losing. He hasn't won a ring yet. You know what I'm saying? Curry has, and those guys have, but he hasn't. So he's hungry for that. And yeah, I think like Buddy Hield, he needs to step up. He needs to do what he did when he first got there. And when the season first started, he was hitting threes like they're going out of style. He was
Yep.
doing really well. So I mean, I think if the Warriors really want to make a run, they gotta really up their game from the younger guys. You know what I'm saying?
Kuminga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a great role player, but he like if you leave him alone, he has no like leadership skills. He's like a deer in the headlights. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. You know what I'm saying? Not every player is a general,
Right.
but you just need like you need if you're not going to be a general, you need to write good plays. You know what I'm saying? Um, what else is out there? This Mike Malone from the Nuggets got canned. You know what I'm saying? And with 4 games left to the season, you
Going
know,
into the playoffs with the
yeah,
winning record.
yeah. And then also like the last week, the Grizzlies coach got canned or whatever. And
Well, that should have been canned. No.
well, I mean, but they're like in playoff position too. You know?
Right. They're high. Well, they're a little bit lower than the
Yeah,
Nuggets.
they're lower, but they're like 7th or 8th or something
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? But I have a feeling they're trying to like they're firing these coaches to light fires on the asses of the players. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like they're doing. I feel like maybe the Nuggets. I'm sure the Nuggets weren't expecting him to get fired right now. I'm sure maybe he would get fired at the end of the season, but they lost like 3 in a row or something, kind of badly. And I think the leadership of the Nuggets was just like, "Fuck that! Let's just can them, light a fire on their
God.
asses. Let's,
Light a fire in your own ass.
yeah,
You don't do that in soccer and baseball. I don't think you don't can't can the
no,
coach going into the playoffs.
no,
That is, I don't know what they're thinking. I mean,
definitely not." But
they have a good team, but you got to put someone new in there to. I don't know.
I think they look at it like the basketball coach isn't that important. Like, you know what I mean? Like the players kind of run it, you know what I'm saying? And your
Ask
main guy.
Milwaukee about that.
Yeah. But that's you know how like LeBron when he was on the Cavs, he like was like fuck this coach, you know? He just like he got him fired basically
Yeah.
and put in Tyrone Lue and but Lue was almost like the puppet for LeBron, you know what I'm saying? It was like he was a proxy for LeBron's coaching, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's almost like he did that with Reddick because I told you they had a podcast together, and it was like, okay, well, get rid of the other guy that was bringing Reddick. That way, I can like speak directly. He can be like my puppet, my ventriloquist. You know, like
Where did Reddick come from? What team was he on before?
he wasn't on it. I mean, he played for a bunch of teams. He played for the Mavericks and he played for the Magic, I think, back in the day or something. He played for a lot of teams. I think the Clippers too. But then he had already retired. He's already been retired maybe 3 or 4 years, and he's just been doing podcasts and stuff. And like one of the better basketball podcasts, I might add. But and like LeBron's been a guest with him a lot and just talking shop and talking shit about basketball. And yeah, I mean, you find that episode. Find it's like the old man and the three with LeBron, or maybe it wasn't that one. It was another one they did. But him and LeBron were talking about Luka, and they were really gushing, as I said, about him. And I think they kind of orchestrated this.
They did a
But like,
coup.
yeah, exactly, coup d'état.
Nobody saw
Um,
it coming.
yeah, but that's what I think these teams are hoping for. They're like, a coach isn't necessary. Maybe if we get rid of him, we can light a fire on these guys' asses, and that'll like spur them on to win. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Speaking of the Grizzlies, know your boy Morant with the guns. Got
God,
2 tickets to the gun show.
jeez.
Um, yeah,
How's
I mean,
life?
I think he was just doing the wink and the gun, you know, like, what's up, wink and the gun, you know? But I think because he has a gun history, that's not very, not
Scaring the
very,
white folks in the front row. Come on, Morant.
yeah, scaring the Memphis elite,
The hillbillies.
Memphis
Sorry,
Mafia.
Memphis. I don't like that. It's a
But
lovely city.
I never been, but
It's very nice.
I know you have family out there, right? You have
My
family.
family lived in Tennessee for a while in Crossville. Yeah, it was just pretty close to Nashville. kind of in the middle of the state.
Yeah.
Fine territory.
Is that where you
Lots of
saw?
bugs.
Is that where you saw the Wiz with your grandma, or?
Well, that was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, they're Midwestern folks.
Yeah. Got it.
Everyone migrates out of the Midwest.
Right. Got it. Okay. But yeah, I think that whole gun situation. I think if anyone else did that, probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But it's like he's like making gun things with his hands, and this isn't the first gun related thing he's ever had in his career. So I think that's why he's getting a lot of flack.
Yeah, and I think other guys like LeBron and other players have done that too. Like there's pictures of them on Facebook doing the same exact thing, but I don't think they got any fines or any controversy over it.
That's what I'm saying. Gun history.
The guy who did the cutting of the throat to Undertaker move, I think that was deserved. I think he deserved a fine for that one. That was a little extreme, but that with the wink and the guns, not so bad.
Gun history.
Just having fun.
Gun history.
I mean, you gotta have that. You gotta have some theatrical.
Yeah, but I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Let's talk a little baseball. My Yankees are struggling a bit, but they did win yesterday, so that was a nice bounce back. They're going to play the Giants at home the next few days, starting tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. Obviously, these torpedo bats are not infallible. Like, they were hot in that first few games, but you get good pitching, it could sink your torpedo bats. So I wouldn't be making a big deal about that if I was a critic. I know it seems like the Red Sox are doing all right.
Right on the heels of the Yankees.
Yeah, they're kind of struggling to start off, but they kind of heated up. Devers finally has some hits on the board. I saw them lose to the Blue Jays the other day. That was nice.
We're on top of the league right now.
Yeah, but it's still early.
Yeah, they got 160 games to go or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a long ass season, my friend.
Long ass.
So
long ass playoffs too.
Yeah, exactly. So and then in the West, Dodgers are still looking pretty good. But I mean, the Giants and the Padres are doing all right. I was telling these Dodger fans, them, hey, I think the Giants are going to be pretty good this year, so you better not sleep on that shit. Yeah, I think Giants are on top of the division at this point.
The Padres.
Padres are?
Yep. 10-3, Giants 9-3.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah. I mean, Padres are right there. So.
Dodgers in third.
Yeah. They were undefeated, at one point, and now they're in third place, if you look at it, so you better watch your ass, Dodger fans. And then speaking of which, I'm sure a lot of you Dodger fans, a lot of Dodger fans are like 99% Hispanic, by the way. This is factual evidence that I have here. 99.9% of Dodger fans are Hispanic. And I'm sure a lot of you aren't too happy that they visited President Trump the other day. Because the teams who win, they usually visit the president, and there's kind of like controversy, like, should we visit him, should we not? But I think a lot of them swallowed their pride and was like, okay, I guess we'll visit his ass. I think Mookie Betts was like crying while he was there.
Oh God.
Wasn't really, but I think inside his soul died a little bit, and I think that'll be partly why they won't be able to repeat this year. Is visiting Trump, I'm sure,
that could ruin you.
Bad luck, and Ohtani, gleefully shaking hands with him, I don't think is a good look either. But you have to live with that, Dodger fans. You know what I'm saying? You win some, you lose some, and you gotta carry the burden of life and the duality of man. That's it for our sports wrap up. Thank you for joining me, Kris.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Briterion Collection, biatches. Peace.